So I recently entered what I'm calling my Disney princess era. Because just like those girls, my mom is also dead. Thank you so much. Today I'm not following in my mom's footsteps, maybe in death, but not in motherhood. Because I did take a pregnancy test and it did come back negative. Thank you so much. There was absolutely no reason to think I was pregnant, none at all. But I do like to just do one every once in a while just to make sure that everything's working properly, you know, because like I didn't know I was pregnant. I've read the Bible. And I don't really believe in God personally, but I do believe that there is a God out there who's trying to play tricks on me personally. So I always got to be 2 steps ahead, you know. The answer if I were to get pregnant would be abortion, obviously. And like people are trying to take that away. Not to get political or anything, but like the anti-abortion people, right? They like to say weird stuff to try and get you to feel bad about liking abortion, right? They'll be like, what if the next baby Einstein was aborted? Or, you know, like you wouldn't abort baby Jesus. And I'm here to tell you today that I 100% would abort baby Jesus. Thank you. I would actually abort him harder than just a regular baby, because here's the thing, it's all risk, no reward. And like, it's Good Friday. I'm gonna go to hell for that. Awesome. But I think I would even have like a party, you know, I'd be really excited about it, and I'd have little games, right? So there'd be like, pin the fetus as far away from me as possible. And then I'd get like one of those little basketball hoops at the plastic baby dolls, and you can just like dunk on them, you know? And then for dessert, there's like a red velvet cake, and it has those little plastic babies that you have in Mardi Gras. And then if you get the cake, you win, but you also lose, because you have to be a parent now. Is all of this very insensitive? Yes. Is it also an indicator that I should not be a mother? I think yes. But it's baseball season, you guys. And that's exciting because Mrs. Met can finally defrost for another year. If you don't know who Mrs. Met is, she is obviously the wife to Mr. Met, who is a man with a baseball for a head, if you didn't know. And because obviously, a baseball head man has to have a wife. He can't be alone in this life, right? And she was introduced in the 1960s, which if you do some little thinking here, means that America has had a woman with a baseball head earlier than women could have credit cards in America. Isn't that fucking right? Let's go. It's awesome. Mrs. Met is so many things, right? She's a wife, she's a mother. She's also really hot. She's really hot. It's so hot that, you know, I look at her sometimes and I'm like, wow, you're really just perpetuating more unrealistic body standards for women. That's so awesome. Thank you so much. But I did go on a date with a guy once who worked in mascots, which is a job that you can have. And he did reveal to me that Mrs. Met's beautiful body is actually just foam butt pads, which means we're back in business, baby. I got another chance. Let's go. There is another female baseball head out there, Rosie Red from the Cincinnati Reds. And unfortunately, as a feminist, I do have to say that she is less hot than Mrs. Met. But she does have 2 boyfriends and no kids. So who's really winning in here, right? But yeah, what is sexy anyways? You know, what is being sexy? I think that the sexiest thing you can be is a notary. And I say this because I am a notary. I'm old enough now that I just being really cute doesn't cut it anymore, right? I have to bring something else to the table. And thankfully, my job told me what that thing was going to be for me, and that is to be a notary. So if you ever need anything signed and stamped, just let me know, and I'll do it for you. No charge. I am bisexual in theory. In practice, I'm more just happy to be considered. And really what that means is that every once in a while, I'll hook up with a guy who looks like a magician, but doesn't do any magic. He just wears vests. And this isn't what I want, but we're doing what we're doing what we got, right? And I would be really impressed if they were to do a magic trick, just one of them, to do a simple card trick every once in a while. But really, all they ever do is just they say that they're polyamorous and then they magically disappear. So ethical to who is the question. But unlike like other bisexuals, I also don't know how to drive without crying. Yeah. So I'm a frequent bus rider. Anyone else ride the bus? Hell yeah! This group of lesbians over here. You guys rock. I took the bus to get here, and it actually worked really well, and I didn't have to wait that long, which was wild. But my favorite thing about the bus is not that it takes me from point A to point B. That is a secondary thing. My favorite thing is the culture of the bus and of just public transit in general and how people mind their business to a fault. Somebody could have the worst day of their life. You could see literal crimes happening. You could just see the craziest stuff. And everyone who that doesn't involve just sits there and is like, I'm having a beautiful day and I don't see anything weird. And I think that's great. Any frequent bus riders? Hi.
I live in Texas.
Oh, awesome. So you guys don't have those? No. Have you taken a bus here?
I love public transportation.
Well, you should move here.
Or flying.
Hell yeah. If you a frequent bus rider, right? You ever be on the bus and then it's just doing its route, right? It's just doing its route, and then it stops at not a bus stop. And then the bus driver just gets up and leaves the bus, and the keys are still in the ignition, and the plexiglass door is wide open, and everyone just sits there. And they're like, yeah, this is correct, this is good, we're fine. And we always are, right? Nobody says anything. And whenever this happens, I think to myself, I'm like, you know what? I could, theoretically, just get myself out of the seat and walk over to the front, and I could just get in that chair and start driving. And I don't think anyone's gonna say anything. They'll just be like, yeah, that's just what a shift change looks like. And then they'd be like, why is this new bus driver crying? I'm really into American Girl dolls. I got back into it. It's kind of like a midlife crisis, except it's just stuff that you had in your childhood coming back to you. Yeah, it's awesome. And I got them from my parents' shed. And they looked really bad because they were in a shed. But what's awesome about American Girls is that you can take them to a doll hospital, and for a fixed rate, they'll just replace limbs, which is a way better healthcare system for just human American girls. But I've been, and in this time that I'm getting reintroduced to American Girl dolls, right, I'm walking around my neighborhood, and I'm finding in the little free libraries that there's a lot, people are giving up their old American Girl doll books, because if you didn't know, each all the historical girls, they have 6 books each, and they have like a little story, they have little different personalities in a different time period in history. And I was like, wow, that's really great for kids to have, but that's also really great for me to have. So I have been taking them, and I've been reading them though, mostly because I'm interested, but also because I'm really trying to get to my Goodreads goal this year. Thank you. And in revisiting the texts, I've developed a theory where if you were an American Girl doll kid growing up, that the doll that your parents get you, the first one, kind of sets you up for life. You know, so say you had Felicity. You are a horse girl. Absolutely. If you had Samantha, I'm sorry to say, but you're probably kind of a bitch. But I had Kit. And Kit, if you don't know, is the Great Depression doll. She was in Cincinnati. She loves the Reds. She takes the bus to go see the movie, and she has a bob, which is a questionably gay haircut. And growing up, I am all of those things and also broke. So, you know, my parents did a really, really good job with that. That's all I got. Thank you guys so much.